Leon never imagined his life would collapse so quickly. Just a year ago, he had dreams, plans, and a vision. He believed life would bend for him if he simply wanted something badly enough. But life, like the ruthless ego training of ancient Sparta, does not reward wishful thinking. It demands discipline, resilience, and the courage to stand back up after every fall. Leon's downfall began quietly. A lost job, a broken relationship, a slow erosion of confidence. Then came the final blow, a failed business that left him with debt, shame, and the painful sense that he had disappointed everyone, including himself. He stopped answering calls. He avoided friends. He shut the curtains and let days blur into nights. One morning, staring at his reflection, unshaven, exhausted, defeated, Leon whispered to himself, "I don't even recognize who I am anymore." That was rock bottom. But sometimes, hitting the floor is what makes you notice the ground beneath you, the foundation you can build on again. That same day, while scrolling mindlessly through videos, he stumbled upon a documentary about Sparta, the warrior society. He watched young Spartan boys thrown into brutal training, facing hardship not to break them, but to forge them into something unshakable. A line struck him deeply. In Sparta, you could not choose comfort. You could only choose strength. Leon paused the video. He realized that for months he had chosen comfort, staying in bed, avoiding responsibility, drowning in self-pity. But comfort had not healed him. It had hardened the chains of his misery. That night, Leon made his first decision in a long time. He would rise again. Not suddenly. Not dramatically. But like a Spartan, one small step at a time. The first small action. The next morning, Leon woke up early, not because he wanted to, but because he refused another day of surrender. His first Spartan task was simple: make the bed. It seemed laughably small. But when you have been living in darkness, even lighting a single match creates a spark of hope. Next, he forced himself to walk for 10 minutes outside. His legs felt heavy, his mind resistant, but he moved anyway. He reminded himself of Spartan warriors marching for miles, not because it was easy, but because discipline didn't ask for permission. Every day he added one new action. Drinking more water. Cleaning one corner of his room. Reading 10 pages of a book. Writing down one goal. Tiny steps. Almost invisible progress. But progress nonetheless. The internal struggle. Even as Leon slowly built these habits, his mind fought against him. Doubt returned often. What's the point? You'll fail again. You're not strong enough. Some days, the voice felt louder than his determination. On those days he remembered something he had heard. Spartans feared only their own weakness. Leon realized his greatest enemy wasn't the past, or the failures, or the opinions of others. His enemy lived inside him: fear, doubt, and shame. So, he treated his mind like a battlefield. He prepared for war. Whenever the negative voice appeared, he countered it with action. Even if small. Even if imperfect. One push-up. One chapter read. One message sent to reconnect with a friend. Each action whispered to his brain, "I am not done yet." Unexpected setbacks. Just when Leon began to feel stronger, life tested him again, as it always does when you start rising. The job opportunity he hoped for fell through. A family member criticized him, saying he had wasted his life. He felt the familiar sting of failure returning. For a moment, he felt the urge to collapse again. To give up. To let everything fall apart. But then he remembered the story of the 300 Spartans at Thermopylae, a small army standing against thousands. They did not expect victory. They expected struggle. And yet they fought anyway, because retreat was not an option. Leon whispered to himself, "If they didn't back down, why should I?" So instead of quitting, he doubled down. He increased his morning walks to runs. He took free online courses to rebuild his skills. He tightened his budget and slowly paid off his debts. He applied for more jobs, even when rejection emails flooded in. He learned courage was not the absence of fear. Courage was continuing the march even when fear walked beside you. The moment everything shifted. One evening, after a long day of job applications and studying, Leon sat alone on a bench. The sky burned orange, and for the first time in months, he felt calm. He looked at himself, not in a mirror, but inwardly. He realized something powerful. He had become stronger. Not because his life had improved, but because he had. He was no longer the man who lay in bed drowning in despair. He was no longer the man who avoided his own reflection. He was no longer the man who waited for motivation to magically appear. He had been forged by hardship, just like a Spartan warrior. It wasn't one big change. It wasn't one moment of dramatic transformation. It was the accumulation of tiny, consistent actions. He had disciplined himself back into life. Leon had discovered his real strength. A strength that had been inside him all along, waiting to be awakened. The rise. Within a few more weeks, Leon secured a job, not his dream job, but a start. He embraced it with pride, knowing progress often begins humbly. He reconnected with people he had pushed away. He rebuilt trust by showing up consistently. He regained control of his finances. He revived old passions, writing, fitness, learning. Every day, he lived with one sentence in mind. Act like a Spartan. Move forward, even 1 inch. Months later, he looked back at where he had started, broken, ashamed, defeated. The contrast was staggering. He didn't rise because luck favored him. He didn't rise because someone rescued him. He didn't rise because circumstances got easier. He rose because he decided to fight. And he kept fighting. Just like the warriors of Sparta. Final message to the viewer. Leon's journey is not just a story, it is a mirror. Maybe you are standing at your own rock bottom right now. Maybe life has broken your confidence, your hope, or your sense of purpose. Maybe you wake up feeling the weight of the world on your chest. But listen carefully. You are stronger than you think. You do not need to transform your entire life today. You do not need to conquer your fears in one battle. You do not need to rebuild everything at once. Start small. Start with one action. Start with one step forward. Because small steps become habits. Habits become strength. Strength becomes transformation. Just like Sparta forged warriors through struggle, hardship is forging you right now. One day, you will look back and realize that the pain you are feeling today was preparing you for a powerful chapter ahead. So keep going. Even when it's hard. Even when you doubt yourself. Even when progress feels invisible. You are not done yet. Rise. Fight. Become the warrior your future needs.